welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well today. So today I am going to be showing you a bunch of new Revolution things. This is going to be 99% first impressions. There's like one or maybe two products that I have used before, but it's going to be a full face Revolution haul kind of video. Just wanted to do some makeup. I just wanted to sit down, film and do some makeup. Hi boo boo. Hi. So I want to just kind of sit down and do some makeup. I feel like I haven't done that much makeup recently and I've placed so many orders of Revolution, so I just wanted to kind of sit down and do kind of a first impressions try on and just try some makeup out and just kind of see what happens. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and let's get started. So first thing I'm going to use is this oil here. This is the Balancing and Nourishing Oil, ideal for oily and blemish prone skin, and it's supposed to help hydrate the skin. This is the Passion Fruit Oil. I haven't actually tried this yet, so I really wanted to try it. This is normally the kind of thing I'd use in a skincare routine, but I thought since I'm doing like a full face Revolution, I'd prep my skin by using this first and then using like my primer and stuff on top of this. So I'm just going to start by opening this up. I love the little squeegee pipettes on the end. So I'm just going to get some of this onto my hands. I feel like if I get it onto my hands, it's a lot easier to control. So I'm just applying this onto my face. It does feel kind of oily, but it's supposed to be for like oily skin. So hopefully, I don't know, it's just how it feels when you apply it. Hoping it doesn't make my makeup look oily underneath. So I'm just applying this all around my face, just so I've got like an even coverage. I've been trying to buy more products for oily skin recently because I feel like my skin has actually started getting so much more oily. It's mainly my forehead area and like that T-zone that they talk about. It's mainly that sort of area, but it's just quite annoying. So blending all this in. Can't really put on my finger what it smells like. It smells a bit weird. I think it's supposed to smell of passion fruit, but I'm not sure what it does smell like. It doesn't smell bad. It just smells a bit different, but it just feels so like greasy and so oily when I put it on. But it is an oil, so that kind of would make sense. So I'm going to kind of let that just soak in and do its thing, and then I'll be applying a primer. The primer that I'm going to use, I actually did use in a previous video, and it's the Super Matte Primer. This is a pretty new one that I've got from Revolution. I really love it. It's from their Relove collection. This is just what it looks like. It is just so good, and it's supposed to be mattifying, so let's hope that it mattifies the oily base we've got underneath. I'm really hoping this hasn't just ruined all my makeup by putting that on. I just really wanted to try it. It does feel really nice. You're supposed to use it like in the morning and in the evening, but I just wanted to use it before I put my makeup on because I just wanted to try it. So as I was saying, I'm just applying this, thanks boo, to my face. I'm just going to use like 1.5 pumps-ish. I've got one here, but obviously half of it went on my desk, so I might have to use a little bit more. But this applies so nicely. I am so in love with this primer. I've been testing it out all week and I really like it. I feel like it makes my makeup stay in place really nicely. Obviously none of this is sponsored or anything, these are all my own opinions. So I've used my matte primer and my skin feels a lot nicer now. It was feeling so oily before, but it feels a lot nicer. It's still a little bit tacky, but it does leave your face feeling a little bit tacky after. So next thing I'm going to use is this foundation here. This is the Super Dewy foundation. However, I bought this in the shade medium in my last video and my mum fell in love with it, but she wanted a lighter shade. So we said we were going to like share both of them, and like when we apply it we're going to mix the two together because this one's really nice but it is a little bit dark. So she bought the light medium one and that's one that I'm going to test out today. So the only real difference between the two of them, like the packaging is pretty much identical. You can see the two shades at the bottom. This is just the slightest bit lighter. So I'm going to open this one up, give it a try. I'm quite excited because I want to see what it's like. I find this one a very interesting product, and I feel like this is like a foundation that I've like never had before. So like I was saying, I find this foundation so weird because it's like a texture that like no other foundations, and when you apply it to your face it looks so dark, but then when you actually start to blend it in, I do quite like what, this is a bit off topic, but I do like that serum underneath the primer because it makes me look more like naturally contoured and gives me kind of a natural highlight as well, so that might be kind of nice for like just if you've got like going for like a day to the beach or something where you don't really like makeup. That might be something really good because it looks like I've got proper natural highlight on and my contour. it's got quite a dark, like when you actually pump it out, it looks very dark. This one looks a lot better shade for me. It looks a little bit dark on camera, but it is a lot better shade for me compared to the other one. I'm not going to pump it out because I don't really want to waste any, but I will take this off so you can see what I mean. It's a lot darker, is that shade, like the shade of it is just so much darker. So I'm going to try this one out now. I'm going to be using one of my little brushes to apply it with. I really like this one. This one is from number 7. It just feels really nice. So that colour is literally perfect for me. That's the colour I should have got really in the first place. The weird thing about the one that I've got is if you blend it out well, like you blend it out properly, you can't even tell that it's the wrong colour at all. It literally looks absolutely fine. So I'm quite interested to see what this one's like. They look very good coverage. When I apply them like this, for like 1.5 pumps of product, that looks very, very good coverage. But like I was saying, this is actually a tinted moisturiser. It's not supposed to be a full coverage foundation. It is just quite good coverage anyway, which I do quite like. So I'm just using one of my Real Techniques brushes just to blend this out. I want to blend it out quite quickly, so I'm just going to blend this out. Really nice consistency as well. I do really like this. So this is going to be my probably new favourite foundation for like an everyday look. This is about perfect. It really is. So I'm just going to blend this all out up into my hairline and just make sure I haven't missed any bits. I feel like I always do this while I'm filming. I completely forget about my hair and then I get halfway through filming and I'm like, oh, should have probably clipped that back. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to use these clips here. I actually bought these from Primark and they were £2 for a set of 10. It's really nice clips because they keep your hair out of the way, but they don't have like any nasty things that could like snag your hair or anything. And they're really, really gentle. They also don't leave any of those like kinks in your hair afterwards, which is good. So I've just put those in. But yeah, this foundation is insane, the actual colour difference between the two of these foundations. This one is about perfect. It's literally just one shade difference. This one is the lightweight tinted medium moisturiser, and this is the lightweight tinted medium light moisturiser. So the difference between these two is actually insane, but this one is just absolutely perfect on my skin. It's blended out so nicely. If you guys can see what I mean by the kind of like natural highlight it's still left underneath there, and the actual kind of contour line it's left as well. Just really, really good. So I'm now going to go with my concealer. I did use this one previously, but I'm absolutely obsessed with this. This is like one of my new favourite concealers ever. This is the Fastbase Concealer in the shade C2. This is supposed to be a lightweight but buildable coverage. I really like this product. I feel like this product is so good. Like you get so much product actually on the applicator. This is what the actual applicator looks like and is so good. I'm so like completely obsessed. So what I've kind of worked out with it though is that it does dry quite fast. So I like to do it in segments at a time. So I like do my nose and do my chin, and then I'll blend it out, and then I'll do my eyes, and I'll do any blemishes, but like blend them out between each step so it doesn't dry too fast, because that's the one flaw that I found with this product, is that it does kind of dry faster. That's another reason I wanted to do this video as well, is because some of these products I have tested before, but I've kind of played around with and I've learned how I like them and how I like to work with them. So I'm just grabbing a mini beauty blender and I'm just blending this out on my chin. And that's blended so nicely into that foundation. I do really, really like that foundation. And again on my nose, I'm just blending that out. So it is a little bit lightweight as a foundation, but it blends so nicely into my skin. I do want it to look a little bit darker, so I just look a little bit more tan, but I'm just going to bronze that out a bit later on. So next I'm just going to do like underneath of my eyes and then blend that out. I feel like everybody applies concealer differently. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever works for your face. This works for me. So that's kind of what that was looking like as soon as I've started to blend it, which isn't looking too bad at all. And it is one of those that's buildable. I think the coverage on this is insane. Underneath my eyes is not perfect. I do need to build it a little bit more. But that is pretty much all blended out. I'm going to leave that for a minute, do all my blemishes and that kind of thing, and then come back and do my eyes again. So I'm just applying this to anywhere that I kind of want a little bit more coverage. So these all bits have now got concealer on, and I'm just going to blend this out again. Same mini little beauty blender. There you go, and that's all now blended out. So next step is to do one more layer underneath my eyes, and this time I like to kind of do it on that line there where kind of like my bags of my eyes are most kind of defined. I like to do it on that line so I can blend that line up and down a little bit. So I'm now just going to go in and I'm just going to blend this out. I can't wait till I have a proper setup in the new house and I can do proper makeup videos and like zoom in on my face, and I've got a nice like white background behind me. So I'm just blending this out. I always felt one eye blends better than the other one does. So now my eyes are all done. I'm actually going to bake, and I'm using this translucent baking powder from Revolution. I've used this once, I think. I don't really remember it that well. I like my Huda Beauty one. I use that one all the time, but I wanted to try a different one. I wanted to try a translucent powder because normally I use the shade Sugar Cookie, which is quite a white one and quite a bright one. So I want to try a different one. How I'm actually going to apply this is I'm going to use this brush here. This is one that I used for my foundation. And I've just stuck this, I've literally just patted this onto here. I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes, because I've choose like a wet brush or something with one of these, because I feel like it sticks to the brush a lot better and it applies so much nicer. So I'm just doing that to kind of like pat that in, and then I will be applying some more. I'm really stressed out with this because I don't know how to use it really, because it's got such a small little lid and it's like how much product do I put in and all that kind of thing. So I've got that there, and I'm just going to tap that in and then apply some underneath my eye. This is the kind of one where it's more buildable and I don't really want to get it on my nose if I can avoid it. So I'm just going to use the rest of this product out of this pot, and I'm just going to apply a little bit down my nose and then some onto my chin. Pretty much all applied now, and I'm just going to wipe all the excess off. So I'm just going to use this brush here, which is just a nice fluffy big brush. So now that's all done, I'm going to start doing more of the actual face stuff. So I'm going to do like my contour, my bronzer, my blush and my highlight too, which I'm excited because I have a really pretty highlight palette to show you all. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of bronzer, you know, because I really like this one. This is the Summer of Love bronzer, and I've just got into using this. This is obviously by Revolution. I love Revolution range. I heart Revolution range, sorry. And this is just a new Real Techniques brush I've got. I'm just going to apply some of this onto the brush and then just kind of sweeping this across my forehead, just try to add a bit more colour into me. It's quite lightweight, and then I'm just going to build it. And to be honest, I do really like that in a bronzer as well, because I'd rather it be lightweight and buildable than when I apply a load and I can't blend it out. So I'd rather it be a lot more blendable and that kind of thing. So that's pretty much all applied. This kind of gives me a little bit more colour into my face. So I'm just going to blend it out using the same brush I used for my foundation. I'm just blending that out a little bit, just so there's no like obvious harsh lines. So that is pretty much done. Can you guys actually see what I mean by like how my face looks like it's got a natural highlight? It's got kind of a glow, and I think that is from using the serum underneath. I do really like that, but my face still looks a bit matte. My forehead there looks a little bit shiny. But again, that's probably from using the serum underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly grab my Rimmel powder. It's a little bit of a cheat in the video because it's supposed to be like a full face Revolution, but I'm just going to take this powder for a sec because I don't actually have a Revolution like proper powder. So next I'm going to be applying my blush. And I've got a brand new blush actually to try. I'm quite excited to try this one. I haven't tried it yet. It's a cream brush from the XX Revolution range. I've kind of lost the blush now. Where's it gone? I kind of lose a blush. So this is the blush. It's from the XX Revolution range and it's called Cloud Blush. It is a cream blush with a lip tint. I got this in the shade Soft Focus because I thought it looked quite a pretty shade for both lips and eyes. So I can't even get into it. I always like to open them from the bottom so I don't like wreck the box. But it's got such pretty packaging. This is what it looks like, and it's so pretty, and you can just see the product. I did swatch this just because I was curious what the colour was like. But this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. It's such kind of like a pale pastel kind of colour. I wasn't sure actually how to apply this. I was like, do I use my finger? Do I use a brush? Because it's a cream product, but it's quite small. I think I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to go in with this one. This is from Beauty Works, which I'd never tried before, and I actually did a video recently testing out Beauty Works brushes because I thought they were like a dupe for Real Techniques. Turns out they are actually like a whole brand, which is kind of cool. So I have just dipped that into there, and it's taking like some chunks out of here, so I'm not sure if that was the best idea, but I'm still going to try it anyway. I'm just going to apply a little bit to both cheeks. Do you know what? That's actually a really pretty shade. I'm just going to blend it out. but it is just quite pigmented, so you might need like less product, which is always a good thing. We always prefer using less products because firstly you've got less products on your skin, and secondly it's going to last you a lot longer. So that is what the blush is looking like, which is so pretty. I can't wait for it to have proper lighting. At the moment I've got my 2 spotlights that run down here, and then I've got my big love sign at the top. Other than that, it's just not very good. I need to have it so you guys are a bit closer to me. But yeah, that is what it is looking like, and I'm a big fan of it. It looks really pretty and kind of subtle, and it's kind of cute. I like it. It's like a really pink, subtle glow, and this is something I'm definitely going to be using in the future. I'll put all this pricing stuff on screen for you guys so you guys can see that. So I'm quickly going to go in with the Roxy palette, which is from Revolution. It was Roxy's Revolution collaboration, one of anyway. And I'm going to use one of my blending brushes. This is just like a normal blending brush. And I'm just grabbing the lightest shade of contour in here just to contour a little bit more on here. Just kind of like shape that out. I know we did bronze, but I want to contour it a bit just so we can see a bit more of like definition where my bone structure is. So I'm just kind of blending that out there. Okay, so that is that done. I'm now going to go in and I'm going to use my highlight. I'm very excited about this one. Very excited. This is the Revolution Soph highlight, and this is what the packaging looks like. I have bought 2 palettes and this highlight from her new collection, and I'm so excited. This is what it looks like. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So I'm going to use this shade with a little S on it, and that's what it looks like. Like, let me just get it to focus. That's what it looks like on my finger, which is kind of insane. So I'm just going to swatch this. But the actual shimmer on that is ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a brush. I'm not sure which I'm going to use actually. I might use my... I was going to use my fan brush. I've actually lost that. So what I'm going to use instead... I also forgot to mention this Soph palette here. This one's a cookies and cream one. She brought out, I believe it's 3 different ones. I believe it's 3 anyway. 3 different highlight palettes. Cookies and cream I thought would match my natural skin tone a lot more. Look at that shimmer. Like, actually look at that highlight. Like, that is intense in the best way possible. So I'm going to apply this on the other side now as well. But yeah, this is cookies and cream. I just thought this shade would match my skin tone the nicest and kind of compliment me the most out of them all. They are all absolutely stunning, so pretty. So that is my highlight pretty much applied. I always feel like one side of my highlight goes so much better than the other side. So that's kind of my base. I want to just kind of show you the products a little bit more up close. You can see the blush there, which is so pretty, and that highlight is so intense. I do need to kind of blend this out here a little bit better because the line is kind of a little bit too obvious, but that's just because I kind of just look sunburned. I'm not gonna lie, I look sunburned. I do need to blend this out a bit better. That is just because I powdered and then I used cream products over the top, so it's kind of not blended in as well. So I bought these 2 products here. This is the Magnetix Duochrome eyeliner in Force, and then I've got the shade Bolt as well. So these are the 2 different ones. The packaging is so cute. It says XX Magnetix on the middle, and then right at the, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but right at the end you can see the colours, the actual products. So I'm just going to try to swatch these 2 on my hand. I just don't know how well they're actually going to swatch. This one here is the purple one, but then when I do a line with it, it does look really very liquidy. So I'm just not sure how well that's going to apply because the line's pretty, but it's just so liquidy. I don't know if that's just so they can try to get the duochrome effect. For the moment, it just kind of looks like a very liquidy purple stripe. So I'm not sure what I think about these yet, but we'll just keep going and see what they're like. This one is the other one, so this is the more green shade. And that's just very the same. In fact, that looks a lot more purple, and it made the other shade look a lot more blue. So that's what they look like. So I'm not really sure about these at the moment. I'll definitely use them. I'm just not sure how or when. But I'm really not sure. They do, as soon as, like, if you try to rub them off, they just come straight off your hand. Like, I just tried to rub them off. It came straight off. So I'm not going to use these today just because I've got a lot of eyeshadow palettes in front of me and I want to test these out. I don't think they'd go with these ones, but I will definitely be using these in future videos. So next, I've actually got a product here. This is a concealer I have used before. I wasn't a massive fan of it, but I found something I do really like with it. This is a full coverage concealer. This is supposed to be a matte base concealer, and it's from Revolution. I've got it in the shade C1, and it's this kind of cream concealer stick, and it's really nice. It's just I don't really like it underneath of my eyes because I feel like it makes my eyes look a bit patchy. But what I like to do with this one is I like to kind of drag this on along here, and I feel like that just defines my contour line a little bit more. To kind of make your face look a lot more structured. And sometimes I like to place it a little bit down my nose and my chin, just kind of build that up a little bit, build that coverage. And then any other places that I might need more coverage. So I've just applied that, and I'm going to blend it all in. I haven't actually used this product on my channel before, I don't think. So that's why I decided to include it today, because I just haven't used it. And it is a nice little product, I do really like it. So I thought, it's a bit for first impressions, or like products we haven't used much. So, see how well nicely that's kind of blended out my nose. Like my nose looks so kind of bright now. And then, I'm going to blend this all down here. Gonna blend it in with a beauty blender to start with, and then I'm gonna blend it out with a brush after. Like that contour line there is insane now. So I just need to blend it out a little bit more before it does look like totally crazy. So I blended it out a little bit more, and it just kind of brightened my face up a little bit, and you can now see what I mean by that. So I'm now going to go in and I'm going to start my eyes. I'm very excited about this. I love doing eye products. So for the primer, I'm going to use the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour from Revolution. This is the shade 0.1. And I do quite like the applicator on this. It's not as big as the Crease Canvas one. It is quite nice. It's a really nice shade as well. It's just I haven't used this one much, so I actually can't remember what this product's like at all. So I thought, you know what, I'll use this as an eye primer. I wanted to use my P. Louise, but obviously I'm just sticking to like Revolution. So I'm going to blend all this in. I'm just going to use a little beauty blender. This one that I've been using all day. It's currently like brown. It looks disgusting. It's supposed to be like a nice corally pastel pink. So like I said, just blending that in. It just looks give my eyeshadow, like the pigment in it, something to kind of stick to. That blends so nicely. I don't know why I haven't used this product more, because that as an eyeshadow primer, like I haven't tried any products on top of it yet, but it's blended out so nicely, and it's kind of made it a lot brighter, and just, I don't know, it just makes my eyes look quite healthy and bright. So that's pretty much all blended. I just don't want any like kind of creases there. And I'm going to set on my eyes. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm honest. I've got so many different eye palettes that I want to show you. I've literally got about 1 million different palettes that I haven't tried out on camera yet. I've just pulled them all out, and it's like I can't use all, like I physically can't use all of these in camera today. The palettes that I do want to show you, which I did buy in this haul, are the Soph Revolution palette. I bought the mini spice one of this. I bought the mini one. Fell in love with it, and then watched her do her 10 makeup looks with this palette, and I was like, I'm going to have it now. I'm just going to have to buy it. So I have swatched it a few times and tried it out. So stunning. There's literally every single colour in here. Soph has done an incredible job. There's so many shades in here. And then the other palette that I just couldn't help but pick up. I actually have a problem, like I can't stop buying palettes and things. The next palette that I couldn't resist was this one here. Can we just take a second to appreciate the actual holographicness in this palette? Like, this is the ultimate holo palette. This is the XX Revolution Beauty London X Envy shadow palette, which kind of makes me hope it's going to be more similar to this, because this is the Envy one. This is what it looks like when you open it up. The only one problem with this palette is it doesn't have a mirror. But having mirrors in palettes is not eco-friendly, so I am obsessed. As you can see, I've swatched this one as well, because I just couldn't not. I've waited a week to film this video. I could not, like, not swatch them. This palette is unreal. The amount of shimmers in here, like, they are absolutely stunning, and it just has so many gorgeous shades. I love the purples. I'm really, really into purple eyeshadow at the moment, so I may have to play with some purples today, because I'm just completely obsessed with them at the moment. So I feel like if I did purple look as well, it could use both palettes for this. So I think that's what I might actually do. I'm going to grab a few of my brushes. I've been using a few different brushes at the moment. The main eye brushes I've used are Real Techniques. They have a lot of different ones, so they're the ones that I'm probably going to use. So I've now picked out all the different brushes that I'm going to use, mainly Real Techniques, a few Revolution ones in there. This is one of my favourite ones. It's the Revolution Pro 150 brush. Well, I'm just dropping everything everywhere. So I'm going to start off, I'm not sure which palette I'm going to start with actually, because both are very pretty. I love the shade Papa and Lockdown from the Soph palette. And then from the Envy palette, it's got quite a few gorgeous purples too. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, and I'm going to use this shade here, this purple from the Envy palette. as my first shade because it looks quite bright, so it's kind of a brave shade to go in with, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm using the 301 from Real Techniques, and I'm just applying this to my crease. I'm not going to like pack it in too much. I'm just going to play and just see what happens because I haven't planned this out at all. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of just play with eyeshadow. It's a really gorgeous shade. It's very pretty. It's darker than I thought it was going to be, but it's so pretty. I think part of that is just because it's in my crease though. So I'm just applying this in my crease and then the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to keep applying this and kind of building this up a little bit. This is such a gorgeous shade. I wish I had a name so I could tell you, but it doesn't. It's just kind of the purple one in the bottom left hand corner. So I'm building this up a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap brushes because I've got a bit of product on both eyes now. So it really annoys me because it looks very pink in the camera light, but it's actually quite a purple shade. So I'm going to go in now with this shade here, which is this kind of like lighter purple shade, and I'm just going to use that to kind of just blend the edges a little bit. I'm using this kind of like small fluffy brush, which is the 310 from Real Techniques, and I'm just kind of blending that on that top line above it. It's a more pinky shade is this one. It's a lot more of a pink tone to it than the other one. So that is currently what it's looking like, which I actually really like these purples already. They're so pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play with these a little bit more, blend them out a little bit more, and then I actually might do a cut crease because I'm kind of feeling that today. I'm kind of feeling it, if I'm honest. So I've got a clean brush here. This is the 308 from Real Techniques, and I'm just buffing these edges out just to make them a little bit softer. It's kind of feel like I look a lot nicer if I buff them out a little bit, and then the same on the other eye just to buff these a little bit. I like a lot more of a softer edge. So I'm going to grab my cut crease canvas from Revolution, and that is in the shade Illustrate. It's a really pretty one, and I'm just going to use this as a cut crease. Getting a bit of product on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my crease and I'll be right back. So I've now cut my crease and it's made that purple look so much brighter, and I really like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over a little bit more with that purple, but I'm going to use the original shade that I used just on my crease above where we just cut it, just to darken that up a little bit even more there and define it, and that is absolutely stunning. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Tiny bit of product just to line that bit there. Just make sure it's blended out nicely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the Soph palette, and I'm going to use these absolutely stunning purple. She's got one here called Papa, and then she's got Lockdown there. I'm tempted to use this shade Dreamy on my lids because it's absolutely stunning. Like, it's just so gorgeous. I really want to use some of these blues though. I'm kind of tempted to get one of these pale blues from the Envy palette just to blend the purple out with a little bit. So I'm going to do that actually before I go and dip into the Soph palette. I'm going to use one of these little brushes here. These are from the new range of Real Techniques. This is the angled shadow brush in 324. So I'm just going to grab, I'm not sure which shade to grab. I think I'm going to get this one here. Just kind of like a turquoisey blue. It's quite dark though, so I don't want to get too much product on my brush. Just going to get a little bit, just dip into it, and then just really gently buff those edges out, which is such a dark colour. I feel like this could be a mistake. I might just buff it more in the outer corners than anything. So what I'm going to do is getting darker now, and I'm running out of space for my memory card, so I'm going to just speed the last bit up a bit. I'm going to take the shade here, which is called Dreamy, and that's the shade that I'm going to be putting in the centre of my lid. I'm going to go in with like this shade here, which is Lockdown, which is absolutely stunning. And I'm going to use my Revolution Pro 150 brush, just making sure all the excess colour is already off that. Just grabbing that Lockdown shade, and I'm going to use this in the inner corner. Just kind of blend my eyeshadow from my lid. Hit the purple, blending that out, and it's such a gorgeous shade. And then I'm going to do it on the outer corner as well. Normally I do this with like a darker shade, because I've got a darker shade on my actual crease area. I'd rather have a lighter shade on my lid. So I'm just going to keep applying this. I'm going to pack it on a little bit more, just so it's a bit higher pigmented, and there's kind of more product that you can actually see. Now that is on, I'm going to take Dreamy because it's one of my favourite shades. Like, look how incredible that shade is. Like, that's insane. And I'm just applying that to my lid. And if you watch when I apply this, like, it's just an insane shimmer, like it's just absolutely stunning. And I'm using a clean finger to just kind of help blend that into place. I felt this shimmer would just go with so many different eyeshadow looks. I wish that I had this shimmer in like a massive pan, because I feel like it'd just be so gorgeous. So I've blended that out and it's just such a pretty little shine. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the Studio London brush again, this little blue one. And I'm going to go in with the shade Papa from Soph's palette. I'm going to blend this on the outer corner of my crease because I really want to try this colour and it looks absolutely stunning. And I love the pigmentation of Soph's palettes as well. So that's just in the outer corner. I'm also going to use this shade to kind of underline just on the outer bit there. I was going to wing this originally and decided not to. It's ended up kind of like semi-winged. So I'm going to try to bring this one up a little bit more on this side because it's not up as high on that side. So I did buy a liner, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go off camera and I'm just going to use this Cookie Dough shade here because it's gorgeous. I'm just going to gently kind of like do a really subtle kind of liner with that, and I'll be right back. I ended up using the shade Brownies for the liner because with my eyeshadow being darker, the brownie shade just kind of looked a lot better, but this is that. Now I'm going to use a mascara. I'm going to use a Revolution one. I just have a look, see which one I'm going to use. So the mascara that I am using is this one here. This one's a little bit clumpy, but it's very good for volume. It's got a little bit of a curved wand on it. This is the Revolution...
I don't know what it is.
This is the Revolution Power Lash Volume Mascara, which is good. It just frightens me because it's such a big wand. I find it very scary. I feel like I'm gonna mess my whole like eyeshadow up with it. But it's quite nice and it does give better volume because you can kind of see that's I'm doing one coat compared to like my natural. It does give kind of a good like kind of curl to your lashes as well, which is quite nice. So I'm just gonna finish this up. It makes your bottom lashes look so pretty. Separates your lashes out quite well as well. So this is the look now finished. I want to stay a bit near the lighting so you could see it a little bit better. But this is the finished look and I really like it. There's some gorgeous shades in here. Do you know what I mean? How it looks a lot more kind of like orange in this lighting. But some gorgeous shades in here. I love that the eyeshadow palettes. I'm so obsessed. The Soph one is absolutely incredible. I use the shade Brownies for the eyeliner and I love it. It's literally perfect. It's so gorgeous and I'm going to use it like literally every day. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I actually did my lips with the lip tint and I also used a lip pencil as well, just kind of outline them. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the lip tint, just gets a little bit too light for me. But for the cheek tint, it was perfect. But yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed this video.